one even cares if you die alone. I don't even care if you die alone. I don't even care if you die alone.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Today's going to be the final episode of the My Labels series I've been doing. Obviously, by the title and the thumbnail, you know it's Arrow Video, my favorite, probably boutique label. As you can see, I've got a ton of it behind me. This will be the last one in the series, even though I have other labels like 88 Films, Vinegar Syndrome, Blue Underground, things like that. Those sort of ones I've only got, say, 3 or 4 titles from each of those, so I don't think it's worth making a video about it. But yeah, so to kick off this one, I'm starting with the Phantasm Arrow box set. Came out a few years ago. I'm not going to open it up, but yeah, it's got all, 5 films in the franchise. I only really care for the first 3, particularly 1 and 3 are my favorites in this franchise. So yeah, it comes with the Sphere, which is on my shelves and stuff, but really awesome set. I'm sure, as many of you know as well, Arrow are a UK-based company. For me, they work out a lot cheaper getting Arrow films than Scream Factory films. And I do believe Arrow release, in my opinion, the better films. So yeah, take that as you will. We have The Exorcist 3. This is the only one I have with a slipcover because I pre-ordered this. Yeah, and Arrow do tons of features, obviously. 2 discs, 2 different cuts of this film. Didn't mind this film. I need to give it a rewatch though. I was pretty tired when I did watch it. Next we have Evil Ed. This is a funny film about a guy that gets a job editing horror films. So he's editing the gore and stuff out of it. And he kind of becomes obsessed with it and goes on a bit of a rampage. All these have reversible arts. I'm not going to show you them, and I won't really show the backs much because I don't really have like artwork on the back of most Arrow sets. Next we have Edge of the Axe. Decent slasher, but pretty average overall. The kills in it are very, very cheesy. You can tell it's just like a foam or rubber axe that's like literally hitting the person and bouncing back off them. And they just add blood effects, but it's okay. Cool premise. The twist is kind of, I don't know, unnecessary in my opinion. It didn't, I don't know, pretty average slasher. If you can find it cheap, pick it up, but other than that, I don't really recommend it. I'll show these 2 at once. Demons 1 and 2. These are super fun films. I know they just released a 4K box set of them, but I'm really happy with these because I think anyway these are I think they're just a brand new 1080p restoration, but still both extremely fun. I do prefer the first one over the second. I have watched it a lot more than the second one. I think I've only seen the second one once, but yeah, demonic possession inside a movie theater and demonic possession inside a apartment complex, like a skyscraper. So super fun, great practical gore effects too in both of them. We have Frankenhooker. I really like this movie. Super funny. Who is it? Frank Hedenlotter. I enjoyed all 3 of his films, really. I know there's something about his comedy, the way he does his effects and his storytelling is just amazing. Bay of Blood, or Twitch of the Death Nerve, or a million other different names. I can't even remember who does this. Mario Bava. I don't know how I forgot that. Yeah, one of like technically the first slashers, like a whodunit giallo's type slasher. Pretty decent. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's a good film and just a classic and staple. I have Toby Hooper's Eaten Alive. Pretty fun crocodile, crazy person kind of movie set in like a hotel where this guy keeps his crocodile or alligator, whatever you want to call it, like under the hotel in like a big pond thing, and he feeds his his customers to the crocodile to keep it alive. Has a young Robert England in it. His name is Buck. I'm sure everyone knows the rest of that. We have Blood Rage. One of my favorite slashers in general. Amazing humor, just super funny. The kills are good. You kind of know what the twist is through the whole thing. They kind of give it to you, but I don't know, just a funny story with great kills and good special effects. And we have Takashi Miike's Audition. This surprised me. It was a lot better. Even though I've heard good things about it, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Essentially, it's just like a 2-hour love story. But then slowly unveils who this woman is and the sick, demented things that she does to people, which is, yeah, you just got to see it to believe it, but definitely worth checking that one out. Awesome 80s Australian film, Dead End Driving. This couple that gets stuck in this drive-in and ends up being like kind of like a lower class community in a way where you can't get back out. They trap all the lower class in there. But one guy is determined to get out. And just, yeah, super fun ride. Great colors, great music. Just, if you're into Aussie films, check this out. Another Frank Henenlotter film. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Frank Henenlotter. That's probably how you say it. Brain Damage. This one's, I'd say this is my favorite out of Frankenhooker and Basket Case. And this, obviously. Little Elmer that injects this guy with drugs and gets him to kill people for him and eat him. I don't know, just a crazy fun ride. Like the neon 80s special effects are so cool in this too. We have Incident in a Ghostland. I believe this is directed by the same guy who done Martyrs. This film was really effective. Really shows what, I guess, grief can do to a person. Change their whole mindset. It's super hard to explain without giving it away. But it's one of the only films that, like, I watched. I've done it a few times, but I've watched it, and within the hour, I've put it back on and watched it again to pick up on the things that I would have missed. It's one of those films that definitely benefit from, like, a rewatch. We have American Werewolf in London. Haven't watched this 4K transfer yet. I got it cheap on a sale. But it's American Werewolf in London, guys. What do you expect? And I reckon this is probably my favourite Arrow artwork that they've done. I think it just looks awesome. We have The Initiation. I watched this when I was super tired, and honestly, I can barely remember a thing about it, other than I didn't really like it too much. I don't know. Runs about 1:40, which in my opinion is too long for a slasher. It was meant to have a cool kind of reveal, and I thought it was very average. I usually sell the movies that I think are average, but with these kind of Arrow and Scream Factories and sort of like boutique labels, I keep them. But most other things that I don't like, I usually sell it for other things. We have the classic Burning. Not much to say about this. It's kind of overrated in my opinion. It's a good slasher, don't get me wrong, but it gets talked up so much. The special effects are good. There's not many of them though, because I know the first kind of 40 minutes of this film's a bit dull. Even though the characters are good, has some of the best characters in a slasher, but yeah, I kind of think it's a little bit overrated, guys. Tell me what you think. One that I don't think is overrated is The Stuff, filmed by Larry Cohen. The effects in this are awesome. The consumerism undertones in this is like very smart and well done. Even like the little theme song, can't get enough of The Stuff. That was in my head for days after watching this. But yeah, I watched it about 6 months ago, fell in love with it, always heard good things about it, and yeah, that lives up. I enjoy it more than like The Blob. I think it's just a better version of The Blob. We got Wes Craven's Last House on the left. This is like the collector's edition that comes with like a book and a poster. Really gritty, I'm sure everyone's heard of it, but really gritty rape revenge film. I don't think it's as gritty as, say, I Spit on Your Grave, but it's a close second. I think the music's actually really good in this. I know people, I don't know, people really give it shit for the music, but I think it kind of adds to like the psychopathic tones of the three guys and the woman, or the two guys and the woman that are torturing these two girls. Next up, we have Invasion of the Body Snatchers. To be honest, I kind of found this a bit boring. This is the 78 version, I think, with like that image. People know that image. I don't remember the actor's name, but like it was okay. I think it ran a little too long. Yeah, 5 minutes short of 2 hours. Could have been cut probably like 20 minutes, and it would have helped the film, I think, a lot. Overall, it's an okay sci-fi film, but wouldn't highly recommend it unless you found it cheap. One that I would recommend, Tenebrae by Dario Argento. Only seen a handful of his films now, slowly delving into Argento. I've watched a lot of Fulci. He's probably my go-to Italian director, but Tenebrae was awesome. I do prefer it over Suspiria. Just a nice whodunit kind of slasher style, which is one of my favorite genres. Very artistic too with the music and stuff, as you would know, being an Argento film. What do we got? We're going to go with Pieces. This is one of my favorite slashers. Some people call it a giallo, whatever. I think it's a Spanish slasher. The effects in this are awesome for the time. Has some awesome, what do you call it, like humor in it. Like some of the dubbing humor is just fucking hilarious. I don't know what much more to say about it. It's just a super fun whodunit with a lot of gore in it. Really good gore. Next we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Second favorite in the franchise. Introduces the iconic Chop Top, which is the star of this film. I'm not going to go too much into it because everyone has seen this film. I'm going to go with the children's classic, Necromantic. This film's a bit fucked up. About a couple who kind of steal dead bodies because one of them works at like a I don't know, it's like a morgue where they clean up bodies from sites and stuff. They take it home and fucking have sex with it and do a whole bunch of fucked up stuff to it. And the little tune, the piano tune that's in this film, I'm sure people that have seen it know that tune. It gets stuck in your head for days after watching it. It has a lot of like art house elements too. Like when he's running through the field towards the end for like 5 minutes, it's just like a scene that's, I don't know, super hard to explain, but one of those films. We have Necromantic 2, just in case you wanted more necrophilia. This one's nowhere near as good, I don't think. People think it is. I don't know. I definitely preferred the first one over the second one, but better effects, obviously, because he's bigger budget in this film, but I do prefer the first one. We have the House Collection. I've only seen House 1 and House 2, the second story. I haven't seen the second and third one. No, sorry, the third and fourth one. Didn't care too much for the first film, but I really enjoyed the second film. I thought the humor was a lot better. I know, it was just more enjoyable, in my opinion. So let me know what 3 and 4 are like. I know the first one is meant to be a lot of people's favorites, but yeah, I just prefer the second. The classic, John Carpenter's The Thing. Awesome 4K restoration. Every time I watch this movie, it just gets better and better. The atmosphere, the soundtrack, just everything, let alone the special effects. The only Arrow DVD I have, Slaughter High. This one's pretty good slasher. Gets talked up a little bit, but I think it's really good though, overall. I had this on like a big multi-pack and had to upgrade when I found this on eBay for cheap, so yeah. It's my only Arrow DVD, besides like the ones that come with multi-packs, and it's got like a poster and a bunch of stuff that they used to do with their editions, which is cool, so I really like the look of the white case too. Next up we have Satan's Blade. Probably in contention with one of the worst slashers that I've seen. I I don't know, it just does nothing. Like the setting in the snow in a cabin is really good, but other than that, it's a really bad slasher. I'd recommend checking it out just to say you've seen it, but unless you find it super cheap like I did, I wouldn't bother. Next one that I would recommend, The Mutilator, otherwise called Fall Break. This one's super fun. It's got a super catchy tune. It is pretty long for a slasher, I think. Oh no, it's not. It's 86 minutes. It feels like it's long. I don't know. It just takes a little while to get started, but the kills are cool. Especially the first kill with the motor propeller. People that seen it, like the way the guy when he dies, the way he acts when he's dying, is just fucking hilarious. Like it's laugh out loud hilarious. It just adds to the charm of this movie. Highly recommend The Mutilator. Another really cheesy one, Microwave Massacre. It's B movies at its finest. Yeah, just super funny. The main character guy is he's just a laugh. Like he just carries on. He kills these people, microwaves them, takes them to work on like sandwiches, and like people are trying it and going like, oh yeah, this is really nice and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. The lead character in this, man, is just so fucking funny. Next up, we have Hills Have Eyes by Wes Craven, the original. I really enjoyed this. I think it's on par with the remake. Yeah, I don't know. Just really liked it. I didn't expect to for some reason. It is kind of dated, but yeah, really enjoyed it. I like the look of the cannibals. Yeah, I'm keen to check out the second one, even though I've heard it's bad. Next we have Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3, like box set. Really enjoy it. Obviously the best. Actually, no, I don't really like number 2, but 1 and 3 are my favorites in the franchise by a long shot. One would be close. The first one would be close to cracking my top 10, I think. Just the atmosphere and the gothic undertones in it. And number 3 is just super fun. I think number 2 is pretty overrated. I don't like the effects in it. It's just a boring story to me, but yeah, awesome box set nonetheless. Now what we got? Maniac Cop. This was super good. I've seen the second one as well and really liked it. The Officer Cordell, I think that's his name. The effects on him are pretty cool. This one actually has Bruce Campbell in it as well, which is always a plus in anything. Yeah, just a cop that nearly on the brink of death and comes back and starts murdering the people of New York. But yeah, check out the sequel too. Number 2 is really good. Next we have Madman. Another one that I heard a lot about, watched it, didn't care for it too much. Was okay. Again, it took too long to get going. A good probably 45 minutes before anything interesting started to happen. But the look of Madman's really cool, and it had some really good kills in it as well. And some very cheesy acting. This one is awesome, Lords of Chaos. If you're a fan of black metal or any metal in general, I highly recommend this. It's about the black metal band Venom from, I don't know where, Norwegian, I don't know, Norwegian black metal. Yeah, they took it so seriously. The effects are so realistic in this, like when he's cutting his arm and shit like that. Very cringeworthy. They go out burning churches, start their own record label. It's got Macaulay Culkin's brother in it too, Rory Culkin. So he does a fantastic job. And yeah, highly recommend it if you're into metal, or even if you're not, give it a watch. Next up, we have a newer release, not newer, but in the last 6 months, I think, RoboCop. I actually bought this on a blind buy and really fucking enjoyed it. Super fun action movie, a lot of gore. Has the dad from That 70s Show in it. I mean, what's more to love? The effects are pretty cool too on that little robot thing, like the AT-AT ripoff. But yeah, I don't know, just really enjoyed it. So let me know if the sequels are any good. I'm keen to check out the RoboCop sequels. I got a couple of steel books, and this one might be a bit hard to see. It's the original Ring, the Japanese version. I only watched this once when I was super tired, can't remember much of it at all. I remember it being a bit slow, but I need to rewatch it because I was super tired. Yeah, Arrow don't do, well, they do a few steel books, but yeah, this one's pretty cool. Next one's also a steel book, Bride of Reanimator. The original Reanimator is one of my favourite films. I absolutely love it. This one's good, not as good. I actually prefer Beyond Reanimator over this one as well, but yeah, Jeffrey Combs does an awesome job. There's Herbert West again in it. And the Doctor, Dr. Hill, can't remember like his name, and it's got really good effects and stuff and other monsters in it, but yeah, not as good as the first or third one in my opinion. And last up, pretty random, but we have Rawhead Rex. This is actually kind of fun. Heard mixed things about it when I bought it, and quite enjoyed the creature. The creature looked really cool. It's like a H.P. Lovecraft kind of mythological story. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't really enjoy it. The effects are kind of bad, but the creature looks really cool. So if a creature looks cool or a monster looks cool in a movie, I'm in. But yeah, guys, that's my Arrow collection. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, do you collect Arrow, or is it probably some people's go-to might be Scream Factory, but mine's Arrow Video all day, every day. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.